Hiya, so it turns out there is a certain etiquette that you must follow when you get the bus to university. I don't know if this etiquette is universal, but I just know personally that this is my experiences of getting a bus. And if you're not aware of this etiquette, well then allow me to enlighten you about such an etiquette. I've said the word etiquette so many times. Now the first dilemma you will encounter is that every seat will be taken. And it won't be that every seat is actually taken up on the bus, it'll just be that every single seat has one person sitting on it. Just one. Now if you are lucky enough to get on the bus before it fills out, you must sit on a seat by yourself. If you aren't thinking in the back of your mind, oh, I better be a nice person and sit next to someone so there's more seats available, don't. I know it's selfish, but that's what you gotta do. Otherwise, if you sit next to a person and there's still another seat available for you to sit in, you gotta freak them out a little bit. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Otherwise, if you do get on a bus and every seat is taken, even if it's one person per seat, then you've got to have to develop a strategy. My advice to you is sit next to someone who is tiny, because that way you get absolute comfort on the bus. Do not sit next to anyone who's fat. That is a bit mean, but the fat people themselves, they want comfort too. I try to judge who I think is going to get off the bus quite early on in the trip, and I sit next to them. So example, on a uni bus, I will find a bogan and I'll sit next to them because I'm pretty sure that the bogan will get off before the bus starts travelling to Wollongong. Sometimes this does work against me though. Sometimes the bogans are actually travelling to Wollongong. Another downside of sitting next to a bogan is, you see these tattoos? They signify every animal I've had sex with. If you're willing to put up with that for a short while and then they get off, then you have a whole seat to yourself, you know? Now if you do get a seat to yourself, the best option is to keep your bag in your lap. Do not put the bag next to you, right? Because then you will look like a douchebag who doesn't want anyone to sit next to them. You don't have to want people to sit next to you, but just give off the impression that you are welcoming and willing to have them sit next to you. So the best way to go about this is put your bag in your lap, but keep your legs quite wide so that you take up more than half the seat. So when they look, they go, oh, there's not enough room to sit there. So it looks like you mean well, but really, secretly deep down inside you're like... You may be like, oh wow, Sean's really thought this through way too well. And trust me, I have. I really have. Now, if you are sick, this is one of the positives of being sick, because no one's gonna want to sit next to you. Now, the downside of being sick on the bus is that you may encounter someone else who is sick. They may target you as the sick person and go, they're sick, I'm gonna sit down next to them.
What have you got?
Oh, I've just got a cold.
Oh, cool. Got dysentery.
Now, sleeping people can be good to sit next to sometimes. They may actually do that whole, and sleep on you thing. So that is a negative of a sleeping person on a bus. Maybe you'll like that, maybe you'll be into that. Maybe if you're on a bus and you want to cuddle, then sit next to a sleeping person.
We're doing the sketch now. You gotta cuddle me.
I can't cuddle you. Like we're doing a split screen effect. Like if I go to, see?
Must you ruin the illusion?
It doesn't work.
Every time!
Now, the common courtesy of being on a bus is that if you sit next to a stranger, don't talk to them. If you actually sit next to an acquaintance, you can talk to them. But there will be a time in the bus trip where you both are allowed to stop talking to each other and listen to your music and be on your phones. And then at the end of the bus trip, you can actually get up and say, bye, nice to see you again. As if there wasn't this big awkward silence in the middle. It's great. I love that mutual agreement. So they're the basic rules I've learnt of the bus etiquette. Oh, yeah, got a tattoo. Making a video. Oh, I love my mum. She hears me screaming, and her first assumption is that I'm making a YouTube video, not the fact I could be in severe danger.